Hi, everybody. We're back. It's the second part of Pete and Pickles. Let's see what happens. So, we ended with what was going on? They reach, oh, yeah, that's right. Pickles was asleep on the couch, and Pete couldn't sleep at all because Pickles was making so much noise. All right. The last thing was Pete said, "Tomorrow the big girl leaves." He said that to himself. All right. Pete awoke the next day to find Pickles doing a little morning Tai Chi, as if she was in China, which she certainly was not. On the other hand, Pete noted that his house guest had made a few changes to the grounds. This time, Pete did not say ridiculous. What is she doing? That's her Tai Chi. And what is Pete looking at? That looks like a garden. Later that morning, Pete experienced the goosebumpily joy of a back scrubbing with his newspaper and coffee. He also discovered the limits of his bathtub. Pickles showed Pete a magazine article about high diving. She pointed to both of them. "Ridiculous," Pete said. "Pigs and elephants sink like bricks." Pickles smiled, and after lunch, they would swan dive off Niagara Falls. See Pete getting a back scratch in the bathtub from Pickles? Look at how cute. Oops. And there she wants to talk about high dive, skydiving. And they did sort of jump into Niagara Falls. On Tuesday, they sledded down the Matterhorn in Switzerland, sort of. Pete was learning that Pickles had lots of plans. Look at her. She's going to dive into that little, I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? Fountain. It's a fountain. And there she is, sliding down the mountain. And look at poor Pete. He's like, what the heck is going on? On Sunday, they went to Tahiti for brunch. Pickles, as always, shared her tropical refreshment with the natives. After Paris, it was on to the lazy canals of Venice. Pete did not know any romantic Italian songs, which did not stop him from singing them. Pickles sniffed a fragrant Venetian lily and shared it with Pete in a manner nicely suited for elephants and pigs. See all the dogs that she's sharing her little smoothie with? There's Pete. He's paddling down the waterway with Pickles. And what the heck is Pickles doing down there at the bottom? It was when Pete returned home one evening and found ballet tryouts in Moscow, soaring paracows over Tuscany, and house painters on his roof that his thoughts turned to his earlier life, a less complicated life. What is going on? There's so many things going on at his house. Soon after, Pete discovered Pickles getting into things she shouldn't have been in. He snapped. "I am a predictable, practical, uncomplicated pig. Or I was before," he yelled. As a shocked Pickles fell back into the bathtub, the last words she remembered hearing were the worst. "It's time you probably left." She was just living her happy life, trying on fun clothes. Uh-oh. And then he got mad. There she goes, falling into the bathtub. Something broke. A pipe gushed water in a spewing torrent. The house filled while a panicky Pete screamed, "Pickles! The mop! Buckets! Sponges! Never mind! Head up for high ground!" Pete worried that the high ground would run out. And as a matter of fact... Uh-oh, see, the pipe broke. And then, oh my gosh, it's starting to flood. Look at the bottom of the stairs. Uh-oh. The high ground disappeared. It did. And when all the snouts and snoots in the now flooded house were fully stretched to their furthest reach, only one had found the refuge of sweet air. Uh-oh. Do you see that? Pete. He's the only one that's able to breathe. Pickles is pushing him up. Pete clung tightly to the last open window. He looked back down into the face of one far too heavy to join him and noticed, once again, as always, a smile. Pete's hanging on the window. There's Pickles. What's happening? She's still smiling. At that terrible moment, what occurred to Pete was not how his life had become so unpredictable, so unpractical, and so completely complicated with Pickles. No, what occurred to Pete was his life without her. That endless night would be the longest of all their great journeys. And when the fireman finally climbed to the window the next morning, he could not believe what he found. It's nighttime. What the heck is going on? What happened? He found a very small pig breathing for a very large elephant. All night, every hour, every minute, every breath shared. When they finally emptied the house, the firemen looked down in puzzlement at the exhausted pair of sleeping friends. They tried, but could not pull Pete from the mighty grasp of Pickles. The two slept all day, through the night, and on until morning. Do you see what Pete was doing? He was going up to get air and then putting the air into Pickles' snout so she could breathe too. Pete did that all night long, and they were exhausted. Look at what the firemen, they were just exhausted. And when they awoke to pick blueberries on the dandelion moons of Pluto, Pete sang Italian love songs. Aren't they funny? That's it. Here, let's read the last page again. It says, "The two slept all day, through the night, and on until morning, when they awoke to pick blueberries on the dandelion moons of Pluto, and Pete sang Italian love songs." That was it. So basically what that's saying is, yes, your friends might drive you crazy sometimes, but sometimes you have to act a little crazy with your friends, and then you guys can have all the fun. You just got to make sure that the crazy doesn't overtake you. And then, you don't want to get in trouble with your mom and dad. All right, guys, until next time. All right, have a good time. And I hope you enjoyed this book. It's Pete and Pickles, and it's written by my favorite author, Berkeley Breathed. All right, have a great day.